Now you can listen to Wine and Dine Radio while shopping at the grocery store or your neighborhood wine merchant. Wine and Dine Radio can be heard using your wireless internet on your cell phone. You're listening to iWine Radio. iWine Radio is a production of Food Tastes Better with Wine on the web at iWineRadio.com. Hey guys, I thank you for listening to iWine Radio, and we are still the only wine channel on iTunes Radio. If you go look under iTunes radio icon and scroll down to News and Talk Directory, and it's listed alphabetically, click on that and the stream comes up immediately. iWineRadio.com, where you can find links to individual guests. And if anyone's interested in advertising or becoming an underwriter or sponsor, please contact us at iWineRadio.com. We really, really appreciate your support. The more support we get, the more conversations I can have with fascinating people around the world, including you. If you have a story to tell that you'd like to share on iWine Radio, go to iWineRadio.com and contact us, and we'll go from there.
Hello, this is Valentin Humer. I'm coming live from Napa Valley, and we are the makers of Salute Santé grapeseed oil. We are making now 10 varietal grapeseed oils in the Napa Valley here, and we're making freshly ground grapeseed flour. It's all available at grapeseedoil.com, and you can also go to our local grocery stores here in the Napa Valley and local bakeries where you find these delicious products. It's all locally made. It's sustainable, it's eco-friendly, and we are a certified green company. So again, this is Salute Santé grapeseed oils and grapeseed flour, available at grapeseedoil.com.
I personally use grapeseed oil almost exclusively for sautéing now. I don't use olive oil much anymore. I don't want to... I was totally convinced after we had a conversation with Maria Loy, who represents the Greek olive oil industry. But the grapeseed oil has a higher flash point. So you're not hurting the oxidative qualities of grapeseed oil as much, unless, of course, you're going to set your pan on fire. Well, we're today going to be learning about a company called Food and Wine that was founded by Valentin Humer and his wife, and their brand is called Salute Santé, which includes a number. It's really fascinating. Not just, when you go to the grocery store, you'll see grapeseed oil, but what they sell is varietal grapeseed oils and varietal grapeseed flours. And so, Valentin, we thank you so very much for joining us today on Wine and Dine. And I think a lot of people nowadays are familiar with the concept of grapeseed oil. Certainly Dr. Oz talks about it a lot on television, and it's pretty readily available in most grocery stores. But what you do is so specialized and so far, it's much better than what people are buying in the grocery store as grapeseed oil. So could you give us some background on your company and your products?
Absolutely, and thank you for having me on the air here. It's really a pleasure to be here. We have actually taken the word grapeseed oil to a whole different level. Salute Santé means to your health in French and Italian, and we're basically saluting those two countries which are the leading wine-producing countries in the world, and thanking them for creating these resources. But it actually goes much further back to biblical times, where grapeseed oil has always been used and mentioned next to the olive, the fig, and the grape. Those three wonderful creations of world are very healthy. And grapeseed oil turns out to be a fascinating thing that just intrigued me so much that I put my career as a hotelier, chef, and restaurateur on the hook and pursued this, and we started over 20 years ago, and now we are in the Napa Valley. That's where we are, and making the world's best grapeseed oil. And you would think, why Napa Valley? That's because here are very, very unique climate conditions and soil, and we are growing grapes here and varietals that are becoming more and more known as the finest vines going all over the world, and therefore we also have the finest grape seeds, and now we're producing locally made grapeseed oils, and we've taken it to a level where we actually separate out the seeds by a variety, and making each one a different, distinct taste profile, and the chefs are just loving it.
Wow. Could you list off for us the different varieties of grapes you use to make oil?
Well, in the last 12 months alone, we have introduced a Chenin Blanc, a Chardonnay, a Riesling, a Sauvignon Blanc, even a Viognier grapeseed oil, Zinfandel, Merlot, Syrah, Sangiovese, and next week we're going to send the first 1-ton tote of Cabernet Sauvignon into our pressing channels. And it's like a very specific pressing method we're using, where we're doing an actual cold pressing method, and where the oil comes out at a temperature no more, no less than it is ever exposed in the natural environment in the vineyard. So therefore it will contain all the nutritional value, its complete whole food format, and the bioavailable substances. This is a product that will have aromas that blow you away. We capture these aromas in a UV-filtered glass bottle, so it will be fresh by the time you get it home.
Okay.
And so each one of these varietals is actually distinct characteristic value and aroma and smell, just like the wine. You know, everyone's got their favorite wine.
Right, right. You know, so what I said is probably made you cringe. I mean, what we get at the grocery store is just a blended grapeseed oil, but what with the quality that you're producing, this you probably don't want us to be frying with this. You want us to be drizzling it on salads and that sort of thing,
Absolutely,
so that we're not hurting the aromas.
I can, with my good heart, tell you that.
Yes.
I can put our Salute Santé Varietal Grapeseed oil next to the best extra virgin olive oil produced anywhere in the world, and you'll see that we are right up to par with those qualities. It has nothing to do with a refined grapeseed oil or a light olive oil that is also refined on the grocery shelf in a clear glass or plastic bottle that you don't quite know when it was made, where it was made, and how it was made, and it's definitely not a blend. So we are using very, very specially treated grape seeds, and it's actually very tricky because we have to separate and dry and clean those seeds within 24 hours. And if it's not done that way, they will start getting moldy and rot.
Yes.
And at that point, the fatty acids are no longer the quality that I approve, and that's the only way. I don't want to do it any different.
Right. Now, talk to us about, before we go much further, talk to us about your grapeseed flowers.
Well, here's the thing. When we make this wonderful oil, obviously there's very little oil in the grapeseed. We actually are working with a yield that's a ton of grapes makes basically a bottle of oil. Wow. Because if you do the math here, when you press the grapes, most of it is juice and it becomes wine. And then you're left up with this mountain called pomace. And in the pomace, you need to separate still a good amount of skins, and then there's stems, and then there is the seeds itself. Then they need to be dried because you still have about 40-50% moisture level in there. By the time you're done with the drying of the seed itself, you have barely 10% oil yield, and with a cold pressing method that we are doing, we're not getting 100% of that small oil yield. We get a fraction of it. So, however, since it's a cold pressing method, that press cake that comes out after the pressing is a very valuable product, and it's becoming almost like the third byproduct of the byproduct, because it is made first from the grape wine, going into grapes, from there going into pomace, from there going into seeds, and then grapeseed oil, and leftover is this wonderful cake that we are grinding up to a flour that is readily now available online, because it's a very small special production. You'd find that only at grapeseedoil.com. But we have found that the local bakeries are having a blast.
Oh,
if you go to Model Bakery downtown Napa on a Saturday, you're going to see breads featured that are blowing your mind. They have vineyard harvest pressed grapeseed flour cake. They have Chardonnay flour breads. They have beautiful baguettes coming out that are just out of the oven, and you can smell those vineyard aromas.
Oh, wow.
So it's quite amazing.
Yeah.
And what you're doing that, you're adding nutritional value back into the food. I'm looking at almost like fortifying food with this grapeseed flour. Because let's face it, most of the food that's shelf-stable on the supermarkets is stripped from all these values. There isn't much fiber in there anymore. White flour is virtually bleached and treated to the extreme. So we are basically adding the nutritional value back into the food. And this grapeseed flour is very high in antioxidants, in a natural fiber, and the nutritional level of whatever baked goods you're making goes up. It could be a cookie, it could be a cracker, it could be a beautiful baguette, it could be hearty vineyard bread. It's just unbelievable what these guys are doing now.
And I'm seeing here what Julianne Kodmer sent to me is you can add 1 tablespoon of grapeseed flour per 1 cup of flour, or substitute 10 to 30% in your favorite recipe.
Correct, yes. And depending on what you want to do, some local caterer like Elaine Bell, she uses Syrah grapeseed oil, and then she uses Merlot grapeseed flour, and she comes out with this wonderful shortbread, and she uses it in her vineyard cooking creations, and I believe she serves a beautiful homemade vanilla ice cream with it. Oh. It's just delightful.
Oh, my gosh. And you also have infused grapeseed oils.
Yes, we have infused grapeseed oil. So we basically have 10 varietals right now on the market, all available at grapeseedoil.com.
Okay.
We're making infused grapeseed oil, and that's a whole different thing, where we're using fresh herbs that we grow here in the Napa Valley, and it's all done organically. And they are infused in a bath of the oil, where we warm up the oil to a temperature where the etheric oils pop. And then at that point, we need to immediately filter off the herbs that are inside the oil.
Okay.
And it's captured, again, in our UV-filtered glass bottle. When you open one of those infused oil bottles, you're going to smell the aromas of either fresh basil, lemon, chili, rosemary, and roasted garlic. Those are our core 5 flavors that we have, and people refer to them as liquid spice. You basically can use them as a finishing touch to create something, so you don't need to run to the grocery store when there's no basil in the season. You can just use that, for example, making your best pesto you've ever had.
Oh, that sounds so good. And the grapeseed flours, we didn't say what you have for sale is from Merlot, pomace, and Chardonnay, right?
That's correct. Those 2 flavors, or those 2 varietals, are available now.
Okay.
And we sell them in 1 pound, in half pounds on our website, which is grapeseedoil.com.
Okay.
You can also, actually locally here at the bakery, you can find them as well. Again, we're doing this in limited quantities right now, and it's one of those things that you need to just learn about. Go to grapeseedoil.com and find all these goodies.
Valentin, one last question. Do you ship out of the United States?
All over the world.
Okay, cool. Okay. Valentin Humer, we would like to thank you so very much for turning us on to grapeseedoil.com. Salute, Santé, food and wine. This is just glorious. Thank you, thank you.
Thank you for having us here.
We will have links up for you to learn more, and we thank you for listening to Wine and Dine. Now you can listen to Wine and Dine Radio while shopping at the grocery store or your neighborhood wine merchant. Wine and Dine Radio can be heard using your wireless internet on your cell phone. You're listening to iWine Radio. iWine Radio is a production of Food Tastes Better with Wine, on the web at iWineRadio.com. Hey guys, I thank you for listening to iWine Radio, and we are still the only wine channel on iTunes Radio. If you go look under iTunes radio icon and scroll down to News and Talk Directory, and it's listed alphabetically, click on that and the stream comes up immediately. iWineRadio.com, where you can find links to individual guests. And if anyone's interested in advertising or becoming an underwriter or sponsor, please contact us at iWineRadio.com. We really, really appreciate your support. The more support we get, the more conversations I can have with fascinating people around the world, including you. If you have a story to tell that you'd like to share on iWine Radio, go to iWineRadio.com and contact us, and we'll go from there.